Howdy folks, just thought I'd give you another one here. It's a bit hard to go past this showstopper in early October 2025. This patch is a bit off the beaten track. If you're in the Sydney area, hopefully you can get out here one day. This is a beautiful Agnes Banks Nature Reserve in, I'd say, far sort of Western Sydney, north of Penrith. It's on a sand deposit, an aeolian sand deposit, and you get like what they call Agnes Banks woodland, Banksia scrub. There's some scribbly gum woodland, there's some Castlereagh swamp woodland. And the trippy thing about it, being Western Sydney, is it's on a sand deposit, total sandy soil. It's a really popular reserve historically for ecological research, pollination, and I'm just going to make a video on this one, the beautiful wedding bush, because it's having an absolute stunning display out here in early October. Really beautiful. It's a popular plant in cultivation. This is Ricinocarpos pinifolius. Pinifolius for the pine-like foliage, and Ricinocarpus meaning fruit-like ricinus, which is these clusters here. Ricinus, that's castor oil plant, which is notorious for producing seeds that are incredibly toxic and the source of ricin gas. Is that what the Russians are a fan of? But it just means fruit like the ricinus plant. This is in the Euphorbiaceae. I get a bit vague with that family. It's a more minor family in Australia. We call them euphorbs. They're known for sometimes producing plants with milky sap. And they can have modified flowers and flower parts at times. But these guys, they're pretty distinctive for flowers. With petals and sepals on the flower. The white parts are the petals, the sepals are underneath. And sometimes in the euphorbs we can just have highly modified flowers. Just going to walk onto another patch because just to show the display that's going on. Just going to start up from here. Absolute showstopper of a plant. In Australian Plant Society, which I'm involved with, it is a popular plant in the garden. You can grow it if you're on a nice draining soil. Maybe you need some sand rather than clay. They grow on sandy soils naturally. We've got a bit of a old housing block here, a bit of a disturbed area, but then you come back into this beautiful intact. This is Angophora bakeri, scribbly gum, Eucalyptus sclerophylla historically. You know, there's Leptospermum. Banksia emula is out here, the Wallenbanksia. And then there's just so many of these wedding bushes. You can see them in places like the Royal National Park, but these ones would be less often seen because you just don't get thousands of people coming out here. Absolutely beautiful. The range of it, it's very coastal, but there are a few inland records as well, but it's very coastal in New South Wales, up and down the coast. It goes up into Queensland to about Mackay. In New South Wales, I think there's a few records in the Upper Blue Mountains and the Hunter Valley. I don't think it's really going too further inland than that. In Victoria, it's pretty coastal, going around the coast, down the southern parts, and then I think it goes a bit further west of Melbourne, maybe Geelong, Ballarat. It sort of peters out around there. It's also in Tasmania, and in Tasmania, here we go again, it's mainly on the eastern parts of the north coast and the northern parts of the east coast. It's in that sort of northeastern corner of Tasmania, going down the east coast a little bit. That's basically where it hangs out. I didn't look to see whether it's on the Bass Strait Islands or not, but maybe it is. The thing about wedding bush, and I think euphorbs generally, they have male and female flowers. And when they talk about the flowers being in sort of clusters, and when they come up, there's one female which tends to be surrounded by 6 males or something like that. It's sort of saying. Now that's the male flowers, and I think it says they can have up to 6 petals, but today I'm seeing flowers with about 9 petals. So I might have that wrong. I'm sure the sepals are underneath there. I'm trying to show that. Where's my hands? Zooming in, would help to look outside the phone. There's the calyx there at the bottom of the flowers. Just trying to get that in view, and there can be 6 lobes on that. And then it's saying 4 to 6 petals, but I've easily had some flowers that have had 9 today. So, 6 people often report seeing 6 and 5 a lot of the time. So I think I've got that right, that all the petals that we're seeing are petals and not something else. But I'm sure I've seen 9 today. I'm seeing 7 at least there anyway. But they're the male flowers releasing pollen. And then the female flowers, they look like this with their individual stigma styles on them. And there they are there. They're the female flowers. So they're just separately male and female, which some people like to zoom in on and have a good look at. I'll just see if we can get closer in on these ones. So they would be the female parts. It looks like there's possibly 3 carpels there, or 3 maybe bifid styles, and lost a few petals there, but they're the females. And there's usually a lot more males. So, you know, women will roll their eyes. There are, you know, a lot more penises than there are vaginas, I guess. Sort of typical in some flowering plants. But they're absolutely beautiful show. The leaves, they're just simple. They can be to 4 centimetres long and a few mil wide. And pinifolius, that's a good name for it. And then we've got the fruits. And the fruits, I just went offline to look up some detail online. Yeah, they are bifid styles. So they are bifid, meaning they're divided in 2 parts. So 3 styles, they're divided into 2 parts. And then the fruit is the capsule. So the female flowers will go on to produce these capsules, and they can be to 12 mil long. They're really funky. They're not prickly. They're soft, nice and soft, but they're sort of trying to be prickly almost. But there's no real prickles there. Just covered in these sort of scales, I guess, 12 mil across. And yeah, very ricinous looking. A little bit castor oil plant looking. These aren't poisonous as far as I know, but the ricinous plant is. But it's a euphorb. Euphorbs are known for having a lot of poisonous members. It's got a lot of toxic members, a bit like the Solanaceae, the euphorbs. So definitely don't go eating these ones for any reason. So that's a beautiful Ricinocarpus. They can get to 3 metres tall. It's not just a New South Wales genus. We've got members in Western Australia as well, I think. And I just forget how many species are in the genus. We've got 3 in New South Wales. And they can all be cultivated. There's Bowmanii, that's another one, which is really nice. I think that's got wider leaves, slightly different foliage. They can all be cultivated. I just want to give you a bit of a show of them going on through here. If you want to come out to Agnes Banks, you can access the reserve. You've just got to walk through. There's sort of no driving in, but you just got to walk through. You just got to come out to the suburb known as Agnes Banks. It's near Castlereagh, north of the Penrith area. And it's a really well-known reserve. A lot of geological investigation as to how this sand deposit got out here, just in one of the drier ice age periods. That's really interesting as well. And to get Banksia emula here, which is well and truly away from the ocean, it's just makes for a very interesting reserve. But I'm not sure how long these wedding bushes will last, but can't think of an area I've been in or a patch I've been in where wedding bush is in this high a number. I just can't think. In the Royal National Park, you'll get them near the ocean, but I haven't seen them before in these such numbers and not such flowering numbers either. So absolutely gorgeous. Sorry, I didn't say my understanding is wedding bush because I just wanted to redo this bit, folks, because I think I got the detail wrong in the video. Apparently, it does link back to traditional First Nations weddings where flowers were exchanged between bride and groom in traditional Aboriginal weddings. I got taught early on it was used in early colonial weddings as well, so it would be put in the bouquet of brides. In early Australian colonial culture, which maybe we adopted from Aboriginal culture. It would have to be spring weddings, but maybe that's when most of them took place. But yeah, it was apparently used in Aboriginal weddings and then following in sort of Anglo ceremonies as well. So that's a root of wedding bush, which is quite a nice association with it.